This is the World on Water Sailing News for September 18, 2020. Here are highlights of the sport of sailing globally for the last 7 days. Foils will be the difference in winning the Vendee Globe. Here are Jeremie Beyou's new foils for CHARAL. Second in the last Vendee Globe, Thomson plans to go one place better this time. Sir Ben Ainslie is focused on winning back the America's Cup. If he does, what will he name it? Part 2 of Kiel Week is dedicated to sailing's Olympic classes. It's the final day of the Wetsuit Outlet UK Moth Nationals in Weymouth. The 10th, Le Defi Azimut Finals, has 3 different IMOCA 60 winners. Now on to the Vendee Globe in November. High winds hit the Kiel Week Olympic Classes fleet on the final day. Now over to Thomson on the new Hugo boss.
Well, as you can see, the boat's back in the water and up and running again, and we've just completed 4 weeks, a month's worth of service. Including that, we did some structural reinforcing of the hull, and then we've made various developments, improvements in performance, one of which has made a huge difference, and then general reliability stuff. Final details is very, very important at this stage, particularly with one person on the boat. When something goes wrong, there's nobody else to help fix it, so everything has to be perfect. The boat's now got its V2 foils in, and I think it'd be quite hard for some people to see the difference between the V1s and the V2s. Now, we have seen some teams make some big changes to their foil setup, so the V1 and the V2 would be completely different, whereas what we chose to do was to develop the version 1 from what we had. We didn't have a problem. We were very happy with the performance with the version 1s. In fact, there was very little we could criticize about it. And so what we wanted to do was not take a step backwards. We really needed to make sure we made a gain, even if it was small. Between now and when we actually go to Le Sable d'Olonne, we'll spend as much time on the water as we can. You know, again, completing the final details, understanding even more about the performance of the boat. The rest of our new sails will arrive in a few days, so we like to bend them on and get wrong. So really now it's the final massaging of the performance, understanding as much as we can, and the final details that really are key to the reliability in the Vendee itself.
We've had probably one of the best summers of sailing ever in the UK. The British summer really turned it on. It's been a really positive period for the team. Again, despite the challenges, it's forced us to really think long and hard about what are our priorities, how do we make the most of the time that we've got, particularly the time that we have on the water, and really focus hard. And we've done that, and we've achieved a lot, so I'm really pleased with how the team has come through it. So we're now in sort of mad pack-up phase, really. It's a lot of pressure on the team because we've got to get RB2, our race boat, fitted out and onto an Antonov cargo plane and flown out to New Zealand. And then the team are in different phases heading out to New Zealand. And that's challenging because we've got the quarantine period out there before people can actually get stuck in and get back to work. So we'll be out on the water in Auckland early October, which gives us then a 6 to 8 week run up to the Christmas regatta, which is the first time all these teams are going to have lined up together. That's going to be a really fascinating period and will tell us a lot about the outcome of the next America's Cup. So there'll be a lot of interested parties come December 17th when we start racing. It's going to be a big moment.
Today was the start of part 2 of the Kiel Week. With moderate winds of 8 to 10 knots, the Olympic classes started their programme of racing. After long months away from competitive action, the Kiel Week is the first opportunity for many top sailors to race each other again. With the Olympic Games in Tokyo postponed by a year, Kiel Week is also part of Olympic qualification for many nations. Accordingly, the fleets are filled with top-class athletes. In the 49er class, a large number of top German athletes are competing in Kiel. In race 1, Eric Harl and Tommy Plussel broke the start line too soon and were disqualified. In the following 2 races, the Olympic bronze medalists from Rio were also found to be slightly off their best. A 10th and a 5th place was certainly not what they had in mind.
We've been lucky. After the tag we got off pretty well and it looked we could finish first. Good races today. Just look at the trend. Everything is okay.
From a German perspective, the duo of Tim Fischer, Fabian Graf, third in the 2018 World Championship in Aarhus, Denmark, did much better. After 2 second places in the opening 2 races, they rewarded themselves with a 3rd place after a successful game of catch-up. But fastest out of the starting blocks was the old master of 49er sailing, the Great Dane Jonas Vara. Now in his 40s, the Olympic champion of 2008 has come well prepared for the Kiel Week.
I definitely think for us it's an advantage that we got an extra year. I like Kiel. I like sailing here. It's often we get a good shifty conditions, offshore breeze, and we know that from back home. And yeah, I like the place, and I look forward to sailing here all the time.
So in today's races, the veteran champion and his young crew Jakob Jensen were in splendid form. With scores of 1, 4 and 2, the Danes lead the regatta after day 1. Lukas Cibatek and Paweł Kolozinski were best of the yellow group, with the Polish crew lying in 2nd place after the first day. On Friday, the Kiel Week continues with the NACRA 17 foiling catamarans showcased on the TV course.
Hey, welcome to the final day of the Moth Nationals. Yeah, it looks like the breeze is just coming in now, so it looks like we should have a nice bit of racing. David Campbell-James trying for 4 races today. Sounds like a bit of a leg breaker for us old folk, but should be really good. We've had a great regatta so far, and looks like we're going to have a really nice day to finish. So really exciting, lots of opportunities ahead for all the fleet, and hopefully we'll have some really good racing and finish the championship on a high.
like to thank Carl Stoneham and Graham Simmons especially for helping organise this event. It's been a bit of breath of fresh air with everything that's been going on, so fantastic week, 70 boats, thanks to all the fleet and all my sponsors for making it happen. Gutted it's not the Worlds, but yeah, be back next year at Stokes Bay and then on to the Worlds in Garda.
Hi everybody, I just want to give it thanks to everyone who supported the event. The club is amazing, the size of it and everyone who comes together, it's really perfect for the new world. Also the people who helped with all the food, that's obviously really important to be able to go day in, day out, being on the sail with nutrition, so thank you for that. And that's it.
Oh, it's been a great end to a great week here on Portland. We've had some great racing with 70 boats and it's just been brilliant to finish off on the podium. Yes, this is the first time I've won a race at Moth Nationals since 2007, which was the last time I managed it. So yeah, 13 years, but it's been worth the wait.
The 10th Defi Azimut finished this week with victory going to L'Occitane en Provence, sailed by Armel Tripon in the runs. CHARAL with Jeremie Beyou in the 48-hour race and PRB, Kevin Escoffier, winning the race around the island of Groix. 3 complementary events with 3 different winners. After CHARAL totally dominated the event last year, this 2020 edition raced, in summer-like conditions, showed that the fleet are getting closer and closer together, in terms of racing at the highest level. The next big event for the IMOCAs will be the start of the Vendee Globe on 8 November. The second IMOCA race event of the season after the Vendee Arctic Les Sables d'Olonne, the Azimut Challenge was something many teams had reserved in their diary. In the end, 17 boats, including 11 foilers, raced during the 5 days in Lorient. The event enabled us to discover several IMOCAs in their latest configuration. Thomas Ryan was trying out the second version of his foils on Linked Out. Stéphane Le Derison took part aboard his 2008 Finot-designed boat, in her new configuration. Time for Oceans underwent a thorough 6-month-long makeover in the Multiplast yard, with foils being fitted, the same as on Jeremie Beyou's 2014 Matercock, a new coach roof, and new rudders. As for L'Occitane en Provence, this was her second appearance after Armel Tripon was forced to retire early from the race back in July, and Sam Manuard's highly original design clearly has a lot of potential.
Ah bah c'est sûr, mentalement c'est mieux, c'est mieux de ne pas être en tête pendant tout et puis de finir par gagner, donc ouais voilà, ça va. J'en ai gagné d'autres comme ça, en n'étant pas forcément en tête toute l'étape et puis en arrivant à rafler la mise, parce qu'à la fin il faut un max de lucidité. Et j'en ai perdu d'autres aussi, et je sais que quand je les ai perdus, bah, tu rumines ça un petit paquet de temps, donc c'est sûr que voilà, je suis pas dans la tête des autres, mais en tout cas dans ma tête, je préfère ce scénario-là que le scénario inverse. Voilà, après, ouais, et puis j'étais bien dans mon rythme Vendée. L'idée, ça a été pas non plus de se mettre minable pendant les 48 heures. d'essayer de dormir, d'essayer de trouver sa position pour dormir, de manger. Voilà, donc essayer de trouver un semblant de rythme. C'était sympa, j'étais bien sur mon CHARAL et puis ça se finit bien, donc voilà, écoute.
T'es heureux, c'est tout ça?
Ouais, je suis heureux. Demain, on a un super tour de l'île de Groix qui nous attend. Les runs, c'était aussi extra il y a 3 jours là. Donc voilà, c'est une super manifestation et donc voilà, ceux qui sont pas là ont tort.
It's as usual a really good race and a great way to set up for the Vendee Globe with a confidence booster. Well, especially for me with a result like that, and I wasn't expecting to finish second and shouldn't have really finished second, but I was still happy with how fast my boat's going compared to the others and the group that I want to be sailing with. Yeah, it's a great race and a great opportunity to get the whole fleet, the IMOCA fleet, together and to have kind of a fun race with not too much pressure and to enjoy it as well. So, and that was one of my main objectives, was to go out there and enjoy the race and enjoy my boat. And we had some great conditions with really flat water and enough wind to really get going, and it was brilliant.
On the finish, the wind disappeared, and all the fleet got stuck in no wind, and we finished more or less all together, very close to each other. And I chose to go very close to the island of Groix, and it happened to be the good choice, and so I finished on the 3rd place. So I'm very happy about that. It was the last training. It was a sort of training with very nice conditions. I think the Vendee Globe will be a lot more difficult than that.
Well, it's been a great race. I'm very happy with the result because, well, I was not going to race to be fourth, so I was quite happy to be fourth in the end. I was a bit lucky when there was less wind where we were near the coast of Lorient. So I'm very happy. The conditions were very good, quite soft. So for my boat, it was good weather conditions. I was quite fast, so always nice to be fast on the water. And that's it. Everything is fine on the boat. We have a few things to still check, but it's quite normal because we replaced a lot of ropes before going on this race. So there are quite a lot of things to check, but no, it was a very good edition and I'm very happy.
High-speed sailing on the final day of the Kiel Woche. Strong winds were predicted for the Olympic showdown, and the regatta courses were in full swing. In the 49er FX class, the top 2 performing teams from Germany and the USA had a harder time in the final 2 races of the series. The leading crews of Tina Lutz and Suzanne Boyka from Germany and the American team, Stephanie Robel and Maggie Shea, fought for Kiel Woche overall victory, but all from the middle of the Gold Fleet. In the first race, the English team, Thomson Tidy, drove to a strong victory ahead of the Italians Germani and Bertuzzi. Victory in the second race went to the Danish duo, Nielsen and Olsen. Those Italians, Germani Bertuzzi, came in second again, which meant that they moved up to 6th place in the overall ranking. After booking their ticket for the Olympic Games in Tokyo on the previous day, Lutz and Boyka scraped across the finish line with some poorer scores but still good enough to clinch overall victory at Kiel Woche 2020. An 8th place and a discard in the final race was still sufficient to come out on top in this world-class field. The Germans could scarcely believe the scale of their achievement.
Somehow strange that we are going to the Olympics. It's kind of unreal, and to win the Kieler Woche today with so much pressure. We really won. I can't believe it.
Second place went to the USA team Stephanie Robel and Maggie Shea, who, after 7 months away from competition, didn't necessarily come to Kiel with the greatest of ambitions. But in the end, the Americans achieved an incredible result.
It's been really tricky conditions here, and it's been 7 months since we've been racing, so our goal was to come here and just shake the rust off, really, and just kind of get back into the swing of things and get back into racing. But we love these conditions. So
Advantage Warre Jensen going into the final day of the 49ers. The Danish Olympic champion of 2008 had sailed a solid regatta in Kiel and topped the overall ranking with a good lead. However, the Spanish crew Diego Botin and Iago Lopez turned on the gas today and looked strong in the difficult conditions. In the first race of the day, the Spanish fought a great duel with a young 49er crew from Kiel. Max Stingley and Linov Schiel from Kiel Yacht Club showed their skills in this world-class field. For a long time, the runners-up in the Junior World Championships of 2018 held their own against the Spanish. On the final downwind course, there was a showdown between the two teams. But Botin and Mara executed their Jenica maneuver just a little better and secured victory in this race, closing the overall gap to Warre and Jensen. In the last race, Eric Heil and Tommy Plussel triumphed once again. With strong tactics and good maneuvers, they achieved another victory at the end of a mixed week for these German veterans. Botin and Mara again attacked the leaders, but they couldn't put enough places between themselves and the leading Danes. A third place in the final race was only enough for them to draw level on points. Thanks to their higher number of race wins, Jonas Vara and Jakob Jensen won the tiebreak and took overall victory at the Kiel Woche. So ends the 126th edition of Kiel Woche. The conclusion of the sailors was unanimous. Enormous praise for the organisers, who made this event possible with a well-planned system for managing the hygiene and safety of participants. Even when times are hard, Kiel was able to deliver great sailing. Based on what we saw this year, there's every reason to be optimistic that Kiel Woche 2021 will return stronger than ever.